Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is Battleground. We are past the Royal Rumble. We are on our way towards Wrestlemania, but it is time for the big Raw pay-per-view before that event. It is time to see what the Monday Night Raw brand has up its sleeve for us here tonight. A very interesting evening of action on its way, there is no doubt about it. We are in the building where NXT TakeOver will be held. The night before WrestleMania in New Orleans, Louisiana, but tonight it is all about Monday Night Raw and it is all about Battleground. To kick off this evening, a very heated and personal tag team match between the duo of Sami Zayn and Cesaro against Shelton Benjamin and Lars Sullivan. This one's been brewing for a little while, but with the addition of the Freak over the last few weeks, it's certainly going to make for a much bigger and much more impactful tag team match. That is to start off this evening, but later on this evening it is all centered around the World Heavyweight title. First, we will see who will challenge for the World title at WrestleMania. Hiroshi Tanahashi one-on-one against Roman Reigns. These two guys having bad blood spewing back quite a few weeks and months really, but they go to battle here one-on-one tonight for the chance of the World Champion at the grandest stage of them all. But the question to ask is, who will that World Champion be? We are going to find out in the main event of the evening as Hirooki Goto challenges Marty Scurll for the World Heavyweight Championship. That is to come in its main event of this evening. He already has a pinfall victory over the World Champion. Can Goto make it happen here tonight and dethrone the villain just 2 weeks into his reign as World Heavyweight Champion? We can hope for that to happen, I suppose, but that is all to come later on this evening. As for now, we start things off with that heated tag match. A grudge match indeed. Cesaro and Sami Zayn against Shelton Benjamin and Lars Sullivan. These two guys formed over one common goal pretty much, and that was Shelton Benjamin. It was Shelton Benjamin who looked to take it was Shelton Benjamin who turned his back on the crowd through Cesaro. It was Shelton Benjamin who looked to send more messages to Cesaro through Sami Zayn. It was Cesaro who saved Sami Zayn. As a result of that, Cesaro and Zayn became a working duo. And then everything changed almost 2 weeks ago when the Freak Lars Sullivan was brought into the mix. A sledgehammer into the gut of Sami Zayn, and it revealed where Lars Sullivan finds himself in the midst of all this. There was a thrilling contest this past Monday on Raw between Lars Sullivan and Cesaro. In that one-on-one contest, they put an awful lot of hatred into everything that they threw at each other, but it was the Freak who walked out with the win. Could it be himself and Benjamin walking out with the win in this opening contest here tonight, or will Zayn and Cesaro be able to do something about that? We find out as they walk towards the ring. Sami Zayn, of course, still going to be feeling pretty high in terms of momentum following the Royal Rumble match he had. 3 eliminations, of course. A big feat for him, tied for the 3rd most eliminations in that match, I believe he was, with ECW's Zach Gibson. As for now, Sami Zayn has this match to focus on. I'm not too sure what the winner's going to get out of it, what there is to gain for the winning side. But what I do know is that this does have a grudge match vibe to it. This definitely has a vibe to it where both teams, they aren't a fan of one another. And they'll make no two ways about it. They really do not like one another, and they really don't mind making sure the other one goes down and stays down in order to prove that point. Shelton Benjamin heading towards the ring, talking about how he turned his back on the crowd just after Survivor Series. And pretty much since then has been involved in more than one ways with Cesaro. And that could all come to an end here tonight, one way or the other. If Benjamin pins Cesaro again, then I think that'll close the door. If Cesaro pins or submits Benjamin, that'll close that door as well. But then again, Shelton Benjamin does have a very reliable Freak to call upon to help him out. The 2-time United States Champion, Lars Sullivan. His first pay-per-view since... his first pay-per-view match pretty much since Survivor Series. I know he was at the Royal Rumble, but that's a bit different to what we're seeing right now. And I believe this is Sullivan's first tag team match on a pay-per-view as well. It might even be one of his first tag team matches in general Freak, of course, who has gone doing his own thing since he arrived on Monday Night Raw, essentially, and definitely so since beyond SummerSlam. Man has been on a total tirade, doing whatever he wanted, taking whatever he wanted as well. But now alongside Shelton Benjamin, temporary or not, I don't know. We don't even know why Lars Sullivan got involved in this whole business. What we do know is that the Freak is standing by the side of Shelton Benjamin. And that is a difference maker in this opening match here at Battleground. Sullivan had a great 2018, of course. The US title around his waist twice. Looking to kick off this year. Well, I say kick off. We're in the second month of the year already. Looking to continue his form into this year. And maybe there is one greater prize for Lars Sullivan awaiting him. We'll find out about that in due time. As for now, we're going to start things off here with Cesaro and Benjamin. And it's no surprise why Cesaro came exploding out of the gates like that with an uppercut to Shelton Benjamin. He definitely has a lot of aggression in his mind. But Benjamin definitely just wants to keep him down. These guys have traded wins with one another. Cesaro tapped out Benjamin. I believe it was 2-3 weeks after their singles match at Armageddon. But it was Benjamin who picked up the big win on the pay-per-view. The win that you could argue more people will remember and more people saw as well. Another uppercut attempt in the corner. Cesaro gets countered by that Uranagi slam from Benjamin. And the gold standard is very much so taking care of business here. Leg drop. Let's see what will happen with either side here. Of course, on the apron, the resilient, the wily Sami Zayn for Cesaro. But on the other side, the Freak, the brute force monster, and the man who will run down anyone in his way, in Lars Sullivan, who has just been tagged in here. Big lariats from Sullivan now. And the Freak, whoa, stumbling there. Cesaro with a great counter, and he could capitalize on it here. Tag made, Zayn going to come in. What are these two men going to have in mind here? Two former world champions working together. Oh, that is going to hurt Sullivan. Groin going to be screaming in agony there. Stretching the bones the wrong way. Sullivan might try and make Zayn's back be bending. Doesn't matter about a bone facing the wrong way. Or your legs facing the wrong way. Your back isn't supposed to bend permanently at all. Big chop in the chest. You could hear the sound of it, and Sullivan he just shrugged it off. Throws Zayn to the turnbuckle and throws him away as well like he's nothing. Not been a good start so far for Sami Zayn here. But then again, he is in the ring against Lars Sullivan, who will do whatever he wants, however he wants. And notice how Sullivan's almost keeping the ring cornered off. He's keeping Sami Zayn in what you could call his side of the ring, along with Shelton Benjamin, and he is just brutalizing him right now. But Zayn fighting back, shoulder tackle, and down goes Sullivan. There may be a weight disadvantage for Sami Zayn, but that's not going to stop him from executing what he wants, how he wants, and doing almost whatever it takes to be the winner of this matchup as well. In the turnbuckle we go. Oh my goodness, perched up on that top rope. This could be big. This will be big. Hurricanrana from Zayn. Got all of it on Sullivan. And that is a huge impact for the Freak. And Zayn, swanton bomb halfway across the ring. Into the cover he goes, trying to put away Lars Sullivan here. But my goodness, the Freak kicked out early. Such a dangerous force is Lars Sullivan. There's no getting around it. He is. Oh, it doesn't matter who's in this match, really. He is so tough to beat. He can just take a beating and just shrug it off almost, as we just saw there. Taking those moves and then just hitting a powerbomb like it was nothing, essentially. Tag made now. Benjamin, the legal man, in this one again. Wrenching on the neck is Shelton Benjamin. Working it down. Wearing it down for the pay dirt, of course, which you'll look to end this. And end the hopes of Sami Zayn and Cesaro getting another win over the gold standard. Suplex attempt incoming. Up. Zayn counters it. If I was Zayn right now, read my mind. I was going to say if I was Zayn right now, I would desperately make a tag into Cesaro after the onslaught from Lars Sullivan, and that is exactly what's going to happen. Cesaro tagged in, double back elbows. Cesaro, the most successful tag team wrestler in this ring. Matter of fact, I think he's the only one in this ring to win any tag team titles in this universe. And he has won a lot. 4 of them, I believe. Or is it 3? I think it might be 3, actually, now that I mention it. Two with Wade Barrett. 1 in the NWO, if I remember rightly. Which I'm almost sure I do. I'll tell you one thing that he doesn't have on pay-per-view, and that is a win over Shelton Benjamin. Benjamin has one over Cesaro. Went for the super kick there, evaded it. Half-hatch suplex. Benjamin getting a little bit too hot under the collar there, getting a little bit too big for his boots, and Cesaro just stopping him in his tracks, but shrugging off the forearm there was Benjamin, and the Freak is going to make his way back in this match. What the hell are we seeing here? I'd expect this to be done the other way around. Oh my goodness! Huge clothesline from Sullivan from the top rope. Cover Cesaro. 2 count. In fact, a kick out there from the Swiss Superman. Sullivan starting to get fired up here. The Freak starting to unleash some of the rage within him. Oh, he's backed up a little too far there, and Sami Zayn almost telling him to snap out of it. Getting in a quick shot while he can, but look at this. Sullivan still in control. Big backbreaker there to Cesaro. Attack in the arms as well, just working him down, tearing him apart really. But these two though slugging it out with shots there for a moment. Cesaro gets countered. I'm not too sure what he was looking for. Might have been a powerbomb, might have been the neutralizer. There's no real way of knowing, but Sullivan seems to be seeking out the freak accident. Cesaro thinking tactically though, and that was an excellent move. Seating himself in the turnbuckle, going to be tough for Sullivan to get you out and hit the freak accident there. That's not going to stop him right now from taking total control. Grazing his forearm across the face there of Cesaro. Going up to the top rope as well. Could we see the headbutt from Sullivan? Cesaro evades it. Big counter. Sullivan. Freak accident. That could end things. Cover. Zayn making the save as early as he could there at the count of 1. Shelton Benjamin getting him out of the ring. Dumping Zayn over the top rope. That is a 2-on-1 advantage now for Sullivan and Benjamin. And if I was Sullivan, I'd tag in Benjamin right now. Maybe he can do something to end this. But Sullivan knows his brute force is a game changer. And he made that apparent right there with those shots to the forehead of Cesaro. In the turnbuckle we go now. Is the tag going to be made? Indeed it is. Shelton Benjamin in now. It has to be said that Benjamin and Sullivan are controlling this match. Ever since that powerbomb attempt was countered, it has been all Sullivan and Benjamin. Great counter from Cesaro there. Can he make the tag in here? Desperately needs to make the tag to keep the hopes alive. Zayn is going to get the tag in here. Well worked indeed, and here we go. Combination between these two men. The Cesaro swing. And stopped in your tracks with a huge drop kick. Sami Zayn thinking great there. That is such a great tag team move by those two men. Kick in the gut there by Benjamin. Countered by Zayn. Drop toe hold. The speed in which these two guys can work is astronomical. Half-hatch suplex by Zayn as well. Both guys executing it there. Blue Thunderbomb by Zayn. No cover attempt yet. Maybe Zayn sees one more move in his path before he can end things, but Benjamin putting the kibosh on it, and a great time to do it as well, and a great time to make the tag into Lars Sullivan. Zayn though, not going to back down right now. Crossbody! Lifts up Sullivan here, putting him in the turnbuckle. Zayn, halova kick! Halova kick to Sullivan. Has he done it with 1, 2? Sullivan kicks out at 2. And that was the perfect opportunity to end it there. Benjamin down in the corner. Benjamin on the outside now. But the Freak, well, he just cannot stay down, can he? Huge chop in the chest by Zayn. And the tag is going to be made into Cesaro, and a tactical one at that. I think Cesaro really wants to end this right now. He really wants to beat Sullivan. He really wants to beat Benjamin, and he wants to be the one to do it. Counter by Sullivan. Sends Cesaro into the turnbuckle. And then throws him from one side of the ring all the way to the other. Benjamin still down on the outside. Big uppercut from Cesaro. What could we see here now from the Swiss Superman? He's trying, but his back is hunched a little bit. This rematch from Raw showing that there is still deep aggression within both sides. Cesaro wanted to keep this in the ring, and he'll do just that. Nice suplex. Lifting him up now. What can Cesaro do here? Nothing. Sullivan counters it. It's amazing to see Sullivan take so much offense and then just respond with such hard-hitting strikes, hard-hitting blows, just the way he beats down his opponent. Even after everything they inflict on him, goes to show that there's almost nothing in the head of Sullivan, because it just seems that he can take all the offense in the world! Uppercut! Pop-up uppercut there by Cesaro. Oh my god, Uranagi counter out of the turnbuckle though by Sullivan. And look at how he stops there. Cesaro right in his tracks. Zayn wanted the tag. He would have made it if Sullivan hadn't stopped him. Big counter. Irish whip. Very well thought there. Tag made into Zayn. Sullivan crawling. Momentary lapse in concentration has allowed Benjamin back in this one now. Flying clothesline for Benjamin. And the match that we saw almost 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw could be what brings this match to an eventual conclusion. Benjamin super kicks the air, turns to face Cesaro, and that was his big mistake because Zayn was the legal man. Huge error made there by Shelton Benjamin, but good counter from him though, has to be said. Irish whip off the ropes, over the knee there, and Benjamin rounds Zayn and has a moment to think about what he's going to do with the Freakster recovering on the outside. Benjamin could still find a different way to end this. Benjamin's going to have to think of a way to down Zayn and then down Cesaro. Well, he's got the idea for downing Zayn. Paid it, no, countered. Countered by Zayn, reverse DDT from him as well. Could Sami Zayn think Haluva kick to try and end things here? Zayn, he's not gonna. Koji clutch from Zayn. Benjamin nowhere near the ropes. Sullivan not getting in the ring. And Benjamin taps out. Benjamin submits. Zayn and Cesaro are your winners. And the grudge has been settled. Sami Zayn and Cesaro have finally achieved the ultimate vengeance over Shelton Benjamin, tapping him out at the pay-per-view event. It took everything out of these guys, and the face of Cesaro tells the story, but they did it. They beat the gold standard. They beat the Freak. And they are your winners. Congratulations to both men. They earned this sweet, sweet victory. And although that has been achieved, Battleground has only just begun. We keep on going here on this pay-per-view, and Bobby Lashley looks to keep on being a name with any value on Monday Night Raw. He looks to bring a stop to his downward spiral and momentum. There was the loss to CM Punk before the Royal Rumble. There was the Royal Rumble itself for Lashley. The first man eliminated out of 29. And that was a breaking point for Lashley. He said it on Raw himself. He needs to fight back. He needs to recover, and he needed to do it his own way. And the way he thought best was to do it in the ring, in a big match, with a win. And that is exactly what he's going to try and do here tonight. An open challenge for Bobby Lashley to anyone on this Monday Night Raw roster. To anyone who dares challenge him. There are a lot of names that could step up. Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, names that aren't on this pay-per-view. Triple H, Randy Orton. Those are... Oh! Oh my! Oh my goodness! That is not one of the names that I envisioned popping up. The Velveteen Dream from NXT to Monday Night Raw. The Dream is on Raw. The Dream has arrived. What a sight this is to see. The Velveteen Dream, the newest acquisition for Monday Night Raw. Well, this changes everything now. The Dream on Monday nights. Ho 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 ho! And what a bold way to start his career on Raw. The man who has only been pinned twice. And by the same person, no less. Velveteen Dream heads into the ring to kickstart his Raw career against Bobby Lashley. And this crowd is loving the sight of the Dream as well. We last saw him in the main event of TakeOver Philadelphia, challenging for the NXT title, but now the Dream is here, and he is ready to make an instant impact on Monday Night Raw. Well, this changes everything for Lashley's match. This is his open challenge, and the attention has turned to the Dream. Everyone has eyes on the Velveteen Dream now. Can he deliver in this match? Can he deliver? Or will Lashley be able to regain his confidence? Let's find out. The Dream's debut begins. And he is going to go toe-to-toe with Bobby Lashley in an attempt to prove it. Good counter there by Dream. Trying to work over the body right now of Lashley. And he's doing just that. Lashley off his game right now. Being thrown about almost. The Dream going to work. Let's see what will happen here. Look at how Dream is just dominating off the bat here. He definitely knows the point he has to prove. And he's definitely not afraid to try and prove it either. Big thrust kick in the gut though by Lashley. But Dream almost shrugs it off. Oh, he's not going to be shrugging that one off though. Big choke. Spine buster there. And even more strength from Bobby Lashley. Gut buster on the shoulder. And Dream bouncing around after it there. Lashley just demonstrating the power now. And definitely taking some shine away from Velveteen Dream. What's he going to do here? Using the ropes as leverage to hit that suplex. Dream got the hot entrance, but it's Lashley who's got the hot start. Full Nelson slam. Twisting full Nelson slam to go with it. Early cover on the Dream. And the Dream ain't even going to let a 1 count happen. I said about how Dream's only lost twice in his entire career to one man. That man is the NXT champion, Tyler Bate. Both times Dream has faced him for the NXT title. Both times he has lost. Big drop kick there from Velveteen Dream, who's feeling a little bit confident after it. You got to admire the attitude, the charisma to Velveteen Dream. Lashley throwing him over the top rope though. If he had done that at the Royal Rumble, he might have got more eliminations. He might have got an elimination to his name. As opposed to being the first one out. Dream knocks the big man back down though, and a big knee right into the face. Will stop Lashley. Boston Crab attempt now. Lashley facing the ropes. He could crawl to them if he wants, but it seems as if Lashley, he's not moving. He has a point to prove, and he powers his way out of it. That was that point being proved there for Lashley. Striking the gut there. What a lariat that one was. Velveteen Dream rolling outside of the ring. Hanging onto the apron right now. Lashley not going to give him a moment to recover. Dream, though, almost played him in there. Forearm in the face. And Lashley up, over, and out of the ring. Just like at the Royal Rumble. And Dream almost knew what he did there. It's like Dream knew what he was getting himself into when he did that. Playing up to Lashley's to Lashley being eliminated first in the Rumble, and look at that, Lashley wants nothing to do with the outside. He needs to prove everything in the ring. And Lashley are going to do exactly that now. He puts Dream right up in the air, and Dream is susceptible to the clutch. He is powerless to Lashley, who holds him in place. Stalling. Vertical suplex from Lashley into the cover on the Dream now. Trying to put him away. Has he done enough to end Dream's hopes of a debut victory? He has not. Lashley's reaction told the story there, though. He thought that he had done enough. He thought that he had it won. From behind now. Locked the arms in as he threw him over his head for that German suplex. Dream is in the perfect place now for Lashley to strike. This is exactly what Lashley needs. This could do it. Spear! Spear to the Dream. There's two. Velveteen Dream kicks out at two. And Lashley's getting irritated. Lashley can't believe this is happening. And look at this again. Out of disbelief, he goes into the cover. There's 1, 2. And again, Dream is out at two. Tells the whole story about Bobby Lashley right now. This is a flat-out refusal to accept the bad luck that is coming his way. What a DDT from the Dream. He used it to go into the cover, but it's a kick out. A very early kick out of that, but look at this. Dream has almost found a second wind within him after the spear. And he is taking everything that he can to execute it. Death Valley driver from the Dream. And the Dream has him in the perfect position now to go to the top rope. Could he do it here? Pulling himself up slowly. Purple Rainmaker. Lashley not only turned his back to Dream, but he rolled out of the way as well. Look at this though by Dream now. Up in the air. Jackhammer from the Dream. Huge strength to pull it off. Lashley though kicking out early. And the Dream had hoped that that might have been enough. But now Lashley's down. Dream, the chance is in front of you. And he's not going to waste a second longer in trying to execute it. Velveteen Dream up high. Purple Rainmaker. The elbow across the chest. The Purple Rainmaker connects. The Velveteen Dream with the 1, 2, 3. And there is your newest signing to Monday Night Raw. Velveteen Dream has done it. The winner in Lashley's Open Challenge is the Dream. Velveteen Dream, your winner, and he is soaking in the win. Lashley up on his feet and irritated with the loss. And all the momentum that he hoped to continue, that he hoped to gain back here tonight, has gone to the Velveteen Dream. And Lashley slips further down the pile, but this moment is all about one man, the Velveteen Dream. And he is on Monday Night Raw. That's going to be great. I already can't wait to see what he'll bring to the table. But now we move on to our first title match of the evening. The World Tag Team titles on the line. The Revival challenge the Authors of Pain for those tag team belts. Two-time tag team champions, the Revival looking to win back those belts they lost in October to American Alpha. And let's see what they can do here. The Revival beat TM6-1 to become the #1 contenders almost 2 weeks ago on Raw, but they were sent a rather interesting message from the Authors of Pain manager in Drake Maverick. in which he said there was no chance the Revival was winning. Everyone in the tag team division should bow to the Authors of Pain. Is that going to be the case? We'll find out here tonight. If there is a team that could ground the Authors of Pain, that could restrict their offense, that could put them down and keep them down, it would be the Revival. They would be the team to do it. But can they? That's the big question to ask. Can they stop a team who has been dominant since its arrival to Raw? Fellow two-time tag team champions, Akam and Rezar, have been proving their point since they won the belt at Armageddon, and even before then. They have been destructive. And they have been proving a point. Every single time we saw them in action, especially this past Monday on Raw when Rezar beat Jinder Mahal in one-on-one action. But can the Revival hope to do something here to dethrone them? Can the Revival do something here to end the reign of AOP? As I've said, if there is a team to do it, the Revival would be the kind of team to do it. They can work on the legs, they can harness them down, they can restrict the tags made and make quick tags in and out. That would be the successful way to beat the AOP. You keep them down, you restrict their power, you take away their legs, you cut off the ring, and you make tags in and out. DIY did at WrestleMania, and it worked. If the Revival can do that, then that is not only a successful game plan, but one that should bring them victory. However, if the Authors of Pain can restrict it, or if the Revival try to go toe-to-toe with AOP, it's a done deal. You don't go toe-to-toe with Akam and Rezar. You lose. You just lose. American Alpha found that out. And as Drake Maverick stands in front of his tag team champions, almost like a foreboding warning for it as well. Since they kicked Paul Ellering to the curb and brought in Drake Maverick, it has been a completely different ball game for these two men. They have been unstoppable. Maverick has been the leader for these two. And can he continue that here tonight for them? There are your World Tag Team Champions preparing for their first title defense. First title match of the evening. Maverick getting right in shot there. He hasn't taken his eyes off the Revival. Now he can get the fuck out of the ring. Lovely, thank you. We are ready to go here. And the Revival seem pretty in good spirits. They seem pretty uplifted there. And there's every reason for it as well. Oh, well, that didn't really bring them much hope off the start. Jesus. A high five there in a way of saying this is, that they hope for the best. Didn't really get him the way they wanted it to, as Akam just threw him halfway across the ring, but Wilder trying to be tactical here, trying to be coy. Akam not interested, though. No, that wasn't English. Elbows his way out of it there. And the turnbuckle we go. Has the arm. Big forearm in the face there by Dash Wilder. Went for a clothesline there, but wow, the speed of Akam. Read that and counted his way out of it, no problem whatsoever. That is incredible speed, awareness, and the ability to counter that fast as well from a guy as big as Akam. It says how dangerous the Authors of Pain truly are. Tag made here. Rezar the legal man now. God, vicious knees in the gut there by AOP. And a double gut buster as well. Dash Wilder shrugging it off. Sends Rezar into the corner. Tag made here. Scott Dawson, the legal man now. And this is what they need to do. Look at the way they're holding on that leg. And look at the way they're not afraid to break it down either. That is what the Revival need to do. Keep this man down. Take away the legs and tag. Tagging is crucial. Because I don't know if they can get a man like Akam or Rezar up for the Shatter Machine. What I do know is if any guy, any big guy is human. If you can break their ligaments down, if you can wear down their body enough, you can make a big guy tap out. They just got to hang in there. The Shatter Machine may be off limits, but that doesn't mean that the no flips just fist mentality of the Revival isn't. So long as they keep on tagging in and out and they don't try and go toe to toe. I'll tell you a team that is tagging in and out right now, and it's AOP. And again, different guy, but the same move, double knees, and then the gut buster that follows. Akam, the legal man in this one now. Dawson in trouble, because I think AOP are looking to play off the sectioning off the ring game. Look at the way Akam just positioned himself there before he went for that strike. Scott Dawson though throwing him across the ring. Tag made. Wilder in here. They're going to go after the legs again. Yes, they are. So many tags in and out already here by these guys. Just kicking him right in the leg. Different guy, but if you do the job to both guys, think about it. It's going to be harder for them to tag in and out because they'll both be hurt. Wilder with a chin lock here, trying to force the tap out of Akam. If you're going to make him tap out, you might want to go for the legs. Great counter there by Dash Wilder. That was very well thought through. In the turnbuckle we go again, but charging head first. But a member of the Authors of Pain is going to cost you, and Akam just demonstrated why with that German suplex. Turns him round in the turnbuckle now. What could he set up? Nothing. Good counter by Wilder. Great thinking by Wilder as well. 2-on-1 advantage for the Revival. And again, he goes after the leg of Akam. Tag is crucial here. Now the beatdown could begin. Tag is made. Dawson's legal. But look at this. This isn't maybe the move they should be looking for, but it is a great move nonetheless. Disorientated Akam. Incredible strength from Scott Dawson to hit that back suplex. Now taking away the arm of Akam. Oh, but look who's getting involved. Drake Maverick. To be honest, this guy usually stays silent in these kind of matches. Getting in the face of Scott Dawson there. Revival never usually fight a guy with a manager, so that may explain why they just fell for that one. And that has opened Akam right back up into this match. Tag made. Razor, the legal man. Different move on its way here. Suplex, powerbomb, combination. Dawson flattened out by it as Razor is now the legal man in this one. Dawson though fighting on. Nice drop kick. Look at that. Razor rolling out of the ring. If I was Dawson, I'd tag. I would tag in Wilder right now. That's the smartest thing that he could do, is tag in a fresh man. Get some fresh legs in the match. And it looks as if he might plan on doing it right there. Oh, what a counter from Razor. Punched in the back there by Wilder, but was able to counter with one hell of a stun gun. Off the ropes. Didn't time it that well, and he paid for it. A man like Razor comes running into you, you are going to fall over. You just are. Wilder trying to get the tag in there, hoping that he could get the tag in. But again, the Authors of Pain. Genius isn't able to shutting stuff off. Good counter there from Dawson though. Front face lock, and he goes after the leg. Dragon screw, keeping the game plan alive in targeting the legs. Great work from the Revival. Now more than ever though would I suggest a tag, but that was not the idea that Scott Dawson should be looking for. Huge lariat though, and again he goes in at the leg. Maverick getting involved, distracting the referee. The Revival should pay no state of mind to it. They should stay on the money here. Chin lock applied. Razor being worn down here, but he's not going to want to tap out. And they haven't done enough to make him tap out either. Look at that. Just pulled the leg out from underneath Dawson. That is strength. And that looks like it could be another tag on its way. Disorientated Dawson, but only briefly. Great counter. Irish whip into the turnbuckle. Could the Revival look for Shatter Machine? If they were, a huge stop from Razor with that headbutt. I think Maverick got involved again there. Referee seemed to be telling him to sit down. Unless Akam was trying to get in the ring. Didn't really see what was going on there. So Razor going to do... Oh! Huge lariat from Razor there. And now, could AOP look to wind up the last chapter? Maybe. Not going to be the case. They're going back to a very trusty move in this double knees and gutbuster combination. It has proven great success for them throughout this evening. And it continues on there. Akam just standing over Scott Dawson right now. And they can just They're just illustrating their dominance, their prowess here. They are just showing that they are a stand-above team. Dawson slowly getting up to his feet, trying to fight on here. It was like Akam was telling him to get in a cheap shot. It's like AOP are feeling that confident. Dawson having to drag Akam across there to make the tag into Wilder. Had to drag him there because he just couldn't make that tag. He couldn't hit that tag team move maybe. Maybe the Revival have been disenfranchised with the belief that tag team moves will get them the victory here. Oh my god. Akam throwing Wilder across the ring again. Think about how many times they've targeted the ribs in this match as well. Think about how effective a move like that is going to be. Pump handle. Oh, pump handle. Death Valley driver by Akam. What an innovative move. What a kick out though from Wilder. Showing such heart and determination. But AOP do not care for determination. They care for results. They care for victories. They care for ending this. And they're going to look to do it right now. The last chapter from AOP connects. And this one is finished. The Revival tried to follow a game plan, but the authors of pain ripped up the pages and wrote one of their own, and it was AOP win, the Revival lose. A dominant tag team victory there for these dominant tag team champions. AOP continue to remain on top of the mountain on Monday Night Raw. And I don't know what team can stop them. We've been seeing a lot of teams trying to stand out, trying to make a name for themselves. But the reality is, one of the best teams on Monday Night Raw, week in and week out, just got handed a heavy defeat by the Authors of Pain. Who can stop these guys? I honestly don't know, but there's one title defended as the evening continues on to our next title match of the evening. The US title on the line. Kassius Ohno versus Bobby Roode. This is much more of a mentality for this match that this is just going to be a great title match. There's no bad blood. There's no animosity. There's no hatred. There's no grudge. There's just the chance to be the champion. These two guys haven't, I don't think, since Ohno became the number one contender almost 3 weeks ago, I don't think they've shared a Raw. As in, I don't think Roode and Ohno have been on the same Raw as one another. Ohno won a fatal four-way involving, I think it was Chad Gable, Jinder Mahal, and Hirooki Goto. That was the one, and it was a huge win for Ohno, pinning Goto in that match. A week before, Goto became the number one contender to the world title following his great Royal Rumble performance. But Ohno's just been looking to rile himself up almost to prepare for this match the best ways that he can. Picked up a victory over Chad Gable a little while back. Roode this past Monday on Raw got a quick win over Shane Thorne. These two guys are very talented athletes, and this has much more of the mindset that this is just going to be a great title match than what it is going to be, you know, a very personal match. There is no anything personal between these two guys. That's the word I'm looking for. There's nothing to say that these two guys hate each other. In fact, I would assume these two guys probably respect one another greatly. They probably do share a mutual respect for one another. They probably realize that they both know the situation they're in. They both know what they're capable of. They both know that the crowd enjoys them both, that the crowd appreciates them both. And that the crowd will be expecting a solid match between these two guys. And I think that is what we're going to get, regardless of result, regardless of outcome, regardless of, you could say, a lack of build. It doesn't matter. I don't think these aren't two guys who would succeed under that kind of mentality. They're not guys who look for that animosity, who look for that, who go looking for that grudge, that drama to hype up their match. These are just two guys looking to prove what the US title is about. These are two guys proving what even, you know, with all that has gone on with the world title pretty much over the last year, with the villain, with Sting, is that it's not about, even going as far back as Bullet Club in 2017, it's not about the drama of the world title that everyone needs to be paying attention to. You can have great matches on Raw, and the Raw crowd and the Raw roster can put on great matches, and they're going to do that here with this US title match. I think this is going to be a very solid matchup. And it's definitely going to be a case of whoever wins it has earned it. Not a case of, oh, the guy who hates the other one the most wins, or everything is to play for. No one can afford to lose this match. I mean, yeah, in a way, no one can afford to lose this match. It's a title match at a pay-per-view. But Gargano and Ciampa next weekend is a match that neither of them can afford to lose, because the loser leaves ECW and they hate one another. This is a different kind of vibe. This is it's almost an exhibition in the talent that Raw has to provide. Like, yes, this could be a match on a Raw. Yes, it could be. But on a pay-per-view, there's going to be more eyes, and more people are going to pay attention to the fact that Raw, outside of the villain and other guys such as him, maybe Roman Reigns and his actions, but Raw could put on good matches. And I say that as a general manager of a rival brand. So it does mean something. Here we go. Ohno, Roode, US title on the line. Roode, of course, won the title on arm again from Hirooki Goto. Defended it against him as well. And now looks to achieve his second title defense. A rebirth, certainly, for Bobby Roode under the Raw general manager, Mr. Dredge. Kassius Ohno has stayed his usual hard-working self. Victories and defeats always come the way of Ohno. But that never stops him. Never derails him. As a matter of fact, I think victory or defeat, Ohno is always spurred on. Always wants to produce a great match. He always wants to put on a good show. And I love that about Ohno. Big straightjacket German there by Ohno into the cover, but a great kick out there by Roode. Solid bridge from Ohno there as well, but this one certainly showing that Ohno's going to need a lot to put away Bobby Roode, and I think the same will be said about Roode to Ohno. Both these guys are going to take maybe more than one finisher to keep down. They are just that resilient. Suplex here from Roode. Lovely vertical suplex as well. Bobby Roode knows what it's like to be a champion. One of only two guys in this universe to have held every secondary title in this universe. First one being Dean Ambrose. There's no doubt about it. Roode knows what it's like to be a champion. Ohno still searching for his first singles title in this universe. He could achieve it here tonight. Big drop-off suplex there by... suplex drop essentially there by Ohno. And now looking to fire up with some big guns. Throwing Roode to the outside. Ohno full steam ahead. Drop kick to the outside as well. A hard-hitting move using the ropes is almost a cannonball. And oh, Roode into the announce table there. Ohno certainly proving that respect he may have for Roode, he is not going to let anything slip by as he looks to be the US champion. This is another crack at the belt for Ohno. Another chance that he does not want to let slip. Is this finally going to be the time that Kassius Ohno wins the US title? And Roode playing a very smart mental mind game. Standing outside of the ring. Just standing there. Ohno knows he can't win this match by counter because he won't win the title. And Ohno responding, by booting Roode right in the face as if to say, I'm not playing your games. But that is exactly what he did. That was smart by Roode. That was coy from him. But it was so smart as well. Good counter, good thinking there from the US champion. And punching into the ribs there of Kassius Ohno, perching him up on the top rope. This is going to be big. This is going to be big one way or the other. Bobby Roode. Gut-wrench superplex. Are you kidding me? What a move from the Glorious One. Roode lifts him up. Spine buster to Ohno. Into the cover. Will this be enough to put him away? No way will it be enough. A big kick out there. And he's going to need him to kick out of this one because another big move could be on its way. Glorious DDT is countered though. Big power bomb from Ohno. From a big counter as well. Into the mat. There goes Bobby Roode's knee. Kassius Ohno. Power bomb, no. Gotch style pile driver. Gotch style pile driver. Roode's head bouncing off the mat. Has that done enough to bring about a new US champion? Oh, he was so close to achieving it. Elbow in the face. Roode with a nice lariat as well to bring him down. And Roode doing what he can do best. Keep a guy grounded, cut off his offense and almost work him down. Slow him down. Ohno likes working at a speed that is good for him. Ohno likes working at a pace that he can hit a lot of hard moves in. But if he's grounded and Roode is breaking down his body, he ain't going to be hitting any big moves. But he might be looking to do one huge move right now. Ohno up high. Gonna fly. Senton splash, but Roode evaded it. And a huge crash and burn for the challenger. Champion into the cover. Ohno able to kick out at one though. But that could have done a lot of damage to him internally. His organs, his spine as well. Oh, but here we go. Bringing out the cravats. A cravat neck breaker there by Ohno. Goes to the turnbuckle. He's smelling it. He's smelling the opportunity. Discus big boot. Ohno goes for the cover for the title. So close. But not close enough. Senton splash, he'll get that one. Could Ohno be one move away from the US title? And is this the move? Death by elbow! Cover! Cover! New US champ! Is it on its way? Oh no! So close! So goddamn close! Roode kicks out again. The fight from the Glorious One has been outstanding. Ohno thought he had him. Ohno could have exhausted himself in trying to have him as well. Roode fighting back. A second wind to the US champion. Glorious DDT. 1, 2. Roode's done it. Try as he might. That was something else there by Roode right at the end. That resiliency right at the end. That's what makes a champion. That is what makes a champion. And he showed it. A great defense from Roode. An action-packed match from the opening bout. But one that resulted in victory for Bobby Roode. Raw is stacked with talents that could challenge for that title. Roode knows it, but so long as he has that US title around his waist, he shows no signs of letting it go. Still your US champion, Bobby Roode. And we are in for another thrilling title match up next. The Mae Young Classic winner, Jordynne Grace, is going to get her shot that she won. She won the tournament. She won the instant contract. And now she gets the chance to be champion. And she has gone in at the deep end. She has gone for the heavy guns. She went for Asuka. And she made her point proven the night after the Royal Rumble. Asuka celebrating victory when Jordynne Grace ran down the apron. Ran down the ramp, sorry. Slid into the ring and stared face to face with the Empress. That told the story. And here we are tonight. Jordynne Grace ready to do battle with the Empress. This one is going to be a great one. Just like the match before, this isn't about grudges. This isn't about hatred. This isn't about wanting to beat the other one down. This is truly about finding out, as it currently stands, in my opinion, the best women's wrestler in the world. You have the woman who won a 16-woman tournament. And you have the Raw Women's Champion who has been on a complete roll. That is not meant to talk ill of Nikki Cross, Tessa Blanchard, and all the other women on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. But what I will say is that I don't know if there are better women in the world right now than these two. They have been sensational. They have been flying the flag of women's wrestling in this universe. Asuka, an outstanding match against Kairi Sane at the Royal Rumble. A title defense against Rosemary, a victory over Becky Lynch at Survivor Series. This woman has been unstoppable since October. But has she met her match here tonight? Has the Empress met her match in the Mae Young Classic winner? They have both seen tremendous success. But which one will walk out with the win? Which one is going to do it? Which one is going to be the women's champion? I said it at the Royal Rumble, and I'm going to say it again. I can't pick a winner. I honestly can't. I don't know who could take this one. Jordynne Grace proved in the tournament how tough she is, how resilient she is, and how powerful she is as well. That's why she's here. That's why she's at Battleground. But then again, the same can be said about the champion. That's why she's here. And that's not only why she's here, but that's why she's the champion. Why she's the one who everyone wants a piece of in the Raw Women's division. That's the goal that every woman wants. And Asuka has it. And honestly, even though she's had great matches, you have to ask yourself, in those matches, has it looked like she is going to lose that title? Has it looked ever in one moment that she was going to lose? You could say maybe at the Rumble with Kairi Sane. Maybe. But how great those matches have been, how back and forth they've been. Asuka has been able to do something to stay in control of those matches. And that is something that Jordynne Grace is not only going to have to recognize, but she's going to have to shut it down. She's going to have to neutralize it. If she can, there's no reason why we might not have a new Raw Women's Champion. But if she can't, Asuka's going to take that belt home again. That is why I don't know if we can choose a winner. Because it is so... It all comes down... This is not a match where it comes down to who can hit who harder. Because... Alright, we just got tits in the camera now. Because both can hit pretty hard. It is down to who has the better wrestling mind. It is down to who can perform in a big match scenario better. Jordynne Grace... Yeah, she probably has had big match scenarios outside of this universe, but the reality is in this universe she's only had one. Asuka has had several. And Asuka has won them. And that is why when you get to that veteran mindset, like I always talk about with guys like Tanahashi, he knows what he's doing in a big match mindset because he's been there so many times. If Asuka can have that same big match mindset, then Jordynne Grace has got to hope that she can pull off something huge. She has something that Asuka doesn't. And I think that may be the power advantage. Grace may be giving up in height slightly, but she's still got a monumental power advantage to most women on the roster, if not all. She proved that in the Mae Young Classic as well. She's got to use it here tonight. She's got to throw Asuka around from pillar to post, and she's got to make sure that Asuka can't wear her down in any way, shape, or form to get off that Asuka lock. And also avoid the kicks and the strikes from Asuka, because they are dangerous. Forearm in the face, another one there, and backed up into the turnbuckle is Jordynne Grace. She powers away out of it quickly, though. Nice strike in the back there. Pretty back and forth from the get-go here. Both women realizing what they're capable of. Both women realizing the ways to shut the other down. Trying to slam her there is Jordynne Grace. Asuka just planting her weight into the mat and stopping it right in its tracks. Asuka slamming Grace with a tiger suplex. Tremendous bridge from the women's champion. But a 1 count tells the story that she has got plenty left to do to finish off the Mae Young Classic winner. Nice work by Asuka. Locks the legs in. Rolls her up. See, the roll-up was nice, but the shoulders weren't pinned down. Asuka had no weight on the shoulders. German suplex, though. And the Empress is taking control now. Spinning kick counter there by Grace. And a great counter at that big spine buster. And here goes Grace now. Could she be looking for the big move already? Asuka denies it. Spinning kick in the face. She was looking for fall from Grace there. Asuka stopped it. And Asuka slows things down briefly as well, keeping Grace pinned down on the mat. This is where she needs it to be. This is where Asuka can have control. Went for the spinning kick again, and Grace counters it again. Big wrestling mindset here from Grace that maybe I wasn't prepared for. The maturity that she is showing in this one right now. Huge powerbomb, and Asuka rolls to the outside. Smart thinking from the champion. Oh, but Grace might make her pay. What a counter from Asuka there. A heavy powerbomb on the outside was on its way, but Asuka rolled out. Back in the ring we go now. Asuka turns around. Is she thinking Asuka lock? No. Spinning back suplex there, and Grace goes back down. Asuka's made no mistake about it. She has shown that she can slam Jordynne Grace more than once, and here she goes finally, looking for the spinning kick, followed by the hip attack. Cover by Asuka to retain the title right now. Okay, that's an interesting kick out. What the hell's going on? Never seen a kick out quite like that one, if I'm honest. Asuka, though, turns around. Here we go. Asuka lock. Asuka lock. It's stitched in. Jordynne Grace may not get the chance to fight out of it. She may have to tap out here. Can Grace escape? Grace is fighting. Grace is kicking. She's squirming. And she's still alive. Jordynne Grace won't give in to the Asuka lock that easily. More has to be done to keep her down. Spine buster. This could be just like what we saw with Roode. This could be the outsmarting of a champion from the tournament winner. Is Grace just one move away? Is it going to be Asuka's fall from Grace from the top of the Raw Women's division? She lifts up Asuka to her feet. Here we go. Middle of the ring. Fall from Grace. 1, 2. Kick out from Asuka. Grace, though, not giving in. She turns Asuka around again, hoping that it might have just been a free kick out, but the Empress showing her that it wasn't the case. The Raw Women's Champion fighting on. What else does Grace have up her sleeve to win here? Clothesline. Asuka counters, spinning kick in the gut. But oh, Grace stops her again. And again Asuka though counters. Another spinning kick in the gut. Asuka going again. Clotheslines of her own. Ducks under. Super kick. And here goes Asuka. Kick in the gut. Hip attack. No cover. Asuka instantly looking to end this one. She's fired up. And Grace could be done for. Asuka lock is in. The Asuka lock's in. Can Grace kick her legs to the ropes? Can she hang on in there long enough to pull that off? She can't. She cannot. There is your winner. There is the woman still at the head of this division. There is Asuka. Grace was ready to win the tournament, but she proved that no one is ready for Asuka. And the reign continues on for the Raw Women's Champion. And again, Grace tested her, but Asuka showed maybe once more that there just wasn't enough to finish it, that the outcome was never in doubt. And it seems as if that mindset I was on about has happened with Asuka. She now knows how to win a match. The big match scenario has happened enough that Asuka knows how to win it, and she did it there. Plenty left in the career for grace. But on this evening, Asuka proved why she's the champion. However, we are about to find out who is next in line for the World Heavyweight title at the grandest stage of them all. Who will face the winner of Hirooki, Goto, and Marty Scurll later on this evening? Will it be Roman Reigns? Will it be Hiroshi Tanahashi? We are going to find out here tonight. The winner goes to Wrestlemania. But make no mistake about it, these two men have plenty more they want to prove. There is a deep-seated rivalry between these two, and it will be settled here tonight. And the winner gets sweet, sweet bragging rights over the other. Number one contenders match up next. And now it is time for Raw to get serious. After what we could call two matches in a row, really, that were entertaining, that we were watching for the sole purpose of we were excited to watch them. Now it starts getting pretty important. Now the road to WrestleMania starts getting written, and it starts here with this matchup between Hiroshi Tanahashi and Roman Reigns. The Ace and the Big Dog doing battle, with the winner getting the grandest prize they can imagine right now, the chance to go to WrestleMania and challenge for the World Heavyweight title. This match was declared official by Marty Scurll in quite a surprising move. A day after he won the world title, feeling his confidence at an all-time high, decided to play his cards very much outwards and declare this to be a one-on-one match for the right to fight him at WrestleMania. In his eyes, of course. He might not get to WrestleMania. He could be beaten in the main event later on, but Hirooki Goto, we'll see about that one. But as for now, Hiroshi Tanahashi and Roman Reigns, they have had bad blood before. They met in a triple threat match at Armageddon, where it was supposed to be Tanahashi versus Sting, in a bout that would be remembered for a long time, but Roman Reigns cashed in his Money in the Bank. The cash-in failed. Reigns didn't walk out with the title, but Tanahashi didn't get to have his big match with Sting, and he never will. Tanahashi, though, ready for this one. He knows the place he's in. He knows what the chances in front of him, and on top of that, he knows that there is a chance for revenge for an attack almost 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw when he was powerbombed onto a Raw executive's desk. Not a table like we see people going through at ringside or out in the crowd. A proper wooden working desk. Those things are heavy. Those things do not break. If you slam a body onto it, the thing that will break is the body. And Hiroshi Tanahashi felt the impact of that, but the Ace didn't stay down. The Ace never stays down. The Ace gets back up to his feet and he keeps on fighting. We're talking about a man who, since arriving to Monday Night Raw, has not been pinned or submitted in the 5 months he's been here. That streak has not been broken for Tanahashi. The Ace has been riding on. And he takes on a man who is yet to get that huge win for his career, who is yet to have that elusive victory that will guide him to the promised land. I've talked about this so many times, how he could pick up wins on Raw, maybe against guys like your CM Punks, against guys like your Daniel Bryans. But when it comes to the big stage, Roman Reigns is never there. He's distant. Royal Rumble, both him and Tanahashi were pretty distant in all fairness. The Money in the Bank was big for Reigns, yes, but he never capitalized on it and he never turned it into a successful cash-in. And as a result of that, he never walked out with the World Heavyweight title. And that is no one's fault but Roman Reigns's. But he has a chance to try and change all of that here tonight, to beat Hiroshi Tanahashi, to challenge for the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania. And this is a very important match for both guys. They know what is at stake. They know they can't afford one slip-up, one mishap, because everything is on the line for them. This is their big way of getting not only to the World Heavyweight title, but to WrestleMania. The biggest stage there is in this profession. And one of these two men will be finding their way there. Tanahashi, great bit of work there. Nice chop in the chest of Roman Reigns. Quick counter though from Reigns. STO and Tanahashi goes down. If Reigns wants that big win under his belt, well, he hasn't got a bigger opponent and couldn't find a bigger opponent to try and get that big win against than Hiroshi Tanahashi, a guy who has been in a predicament like this so many times. I've talked about it once already here tonight. And a predicament that definitely Reigns is not as... Reigns has been here before. He's challenged for the world title more than once, but he has not been in a position as many times as Tanahashi. And I think that's where advantage is Tanahashi. I think Reigns will try and play a game that he's not comfortable with, and Tanahashi can just capitalize on it and make him pay and take him out and finish him off with a high fly flow. There's a lovely dragon screw from Tanahashi, one of many probably on their way this evening. Work down the body of Reigns, take away his legs, kind of like we talked about with the authors of pain earlier on this evening. Suplex driver there, into the cover goes Tanahashi, trying to put him away. Kick out at 1. Just seeing how these guys will look to go through their options, look to go through their repertoire of maneuvers, and how the end will come about. Definitely going to need more than one big move to finish these guys off. Definitely going to need more than a high fly, just one high fly flow or one spear. It's going to have to be a huge finishing sequence, I could almost see coming its way to finish these guys off. They are resilient. They don't give in. They don't give up. And certainly, they never want to give up either. I know the big match may be up next, but I wonder if Goto or Scurll are watching this one, realizing that their WrestleMania opponent is standing in this ring right now. Gonna fly, Tanahashi looking for the high fly press, but what a counter there by Reigns. Fall away slam, he turns it into. Great counter there from the Mr. Money in the Bank. Or the former Mr. Money in the Bank, rather, should I say. Tanahashi goes to the outside now. And that was the turning point for Reigns, because it has assisted him in taking control of this match right now. He dictates the pace with Tanahashi down. But Tanahashi right up to his feet, unable to stay down for too long. Sends him into the barricade and back into the ring. If you're out there, you might as well use every bit of it to your advantage. Tanahashi just did that. Sling blade. The ace going up high. Tanahashi, high fly, countered. Knees in the gut by Reigns to the high fly flow spear. Then is that enough to send Roman Reigns to WrestleMania? Cover on Tanahashi and all the ace. It is far too early to finish him off. Tanahashi kicking out the count of 1 there to tell Roman Reigns long way to go. Tanahashi in trouble though. Look at the strength of Reigns. Deadlift, sit out, powerbomb. Did it with no problem whatsoever. None. Chinlock stitched in now. And Tanahashi is fighting his way out of it there. Both guys swinging for one another. Neither able to connect the way they wanted it to though. Look at this now though. Tanahashi starting to inflict quick strikes. Dazing Reigns. Getting in a nice back suplex as well. Reigns has got to stay on the money, basically. He's got to stay focused. Can't let that spear be the end of his big offense. And nor can he let Tanahashi start to run away with this match, because if he does, it's over. Tanahashi will walk out with the win, no problem at all. Reigns has got to do something to pin down Tanahashi to make sure the guy doesn't get up to his feet. And that's exactly what Tanahashi's doing right now. Double forearms in the face. Sling blade from Tanahashi. And he could be in here. Another sling blade. And all of a sudden, the comeback for Tanahashi almost looks complete. Here we go. High fly flow. 1, 2. Oh, Reigns kicks out at 2. Tanahashi has not finished the job yet. Look at this though from Tanahashi. Look at this submission being locked in. Stretching the back of Roman Reigns. Trying to force him to tap out here. Bending the body in a way it's not supposed to be bent. Reigns can't reach the ropes, but he isn't giving up there as he powers out. Knee in the gut by Reigns. And just back to the power advantage that he has in this match as he hits that belly to belly there. Smart work by Reigns. There's no other way of saying it. And Tanahashi is feeling the full reciprocation of it right now. Trying to cheer the ace on as this crowd in New Orleans. And Roman Reigns trying to dash everyone's hopes but his own. Another kick out at one there by Tanahashi, but all these early kickouts could be giving him less time to recover. Could be making it easier for Roman Reigns to walk out with the win. High cross, sit out powerbomb from Reigns. No cover follows, but a devastating move to Tanahashi is inflicted. The ace down on his back and not exactly rushing up to his feet either. Couldn't even cover up those punches there. Brutal by Reigns, but Tanahashi fighting back. Lariat of his own. Roman Reigns goes down. Counter there from Roman Reigns though. Good elbow to get himself out of that one. Clothesline attempt. Tanahashi counters. And Tanahashi not afraid to go to WrestleMania by any means necessary. Gets a 2 count on that roll up. 2 count is not enough, but does Tanahashi suddenly have it in him? Has that roll up finally brought Tanahashi back into this match? Lovely chop in the chest. And up on the second rope we go. Cannibal sent on attempt, but Reigns evaded it. Tanahashi hitting the mat hard. Superman punch by Reigns. Into the cover he goes. Has he done it? Yeah. It's a kick out at 2, and Reigns desperate for it to be 3. Tanahashi now though. Could this one be 3 for Reigns? The spear is countered from the ace. These two guys reading each other so well. Neither one able to put the other one down. Anything to get to WrestleMania, and look at Reigns again. For the 3rd time this match, showing off the power advantage he has. As Tanahashi hits hard. Roman Reigns now just dictating the pace, essentially. Leading it away here. Tanahashi fighting back there though. Good shoulder tackle. One more does he have within him. Tanahashi takes him down. Oh, lovely snap knee almost there by Tanahashi. Quick and effective. You notice though a lot of Tanahashi's offense been neutered, I think, with the work on the body. I think a lot of the big moves have been taken away. You're looking at your dragon suplexes, twist and shout. You haven't really seen them much in this match. Not all of Tanahashi's greatest hits have been played, but there's another sling blade. But this time it's no high fly flow. It's the Texas Clover Hold. Texas Clover Hold applied on Roman Reigns. Has Tanahashi got it in him to force Reigns to tap out? He does not. Reigns powering his way out there. Tanahashi rolls to evade. Great thinking there from the ace. But Reigns in with a big counter of his own. Shoulder tackle and just powering Tanahashi down. And Tanahashi having to take a break to the outside here. Feeling the impact of this match. On the outside we go now, and look at this by Reigns. Samoan drop after all the work done on the back of Tanahashi. No surprise that worked so well. Superman punch attempt there, but Tanahashi able to evade it. Roman Reigns though just overpowering right now. Superman punch from Reigns. On the outside as well. The count continuing on. Reigns though could look to finish things off out here. Tanahashi fighting back though. The fight is still on. Oh, Tanahashi was almost like it was instinct that guided him to pull off that hit. Reigns now continuing to pummel away against the barricade here. Tanahashi in trouble. Reigns setting him up for something big. Oh my goodness! A spear right through the barricade. The ace could have been finished off right there. Roman Reigns may have done enough to go to WrestleMania. I don't think Reigns knows where he is right now. The count is out and it's to 10. Reigns had the match won, but I don't think he knew where he was. I think he got dazed by his own move. The count has reached 10. Neither man has won this. Reigns, it looked like he had Tanahashi beaten, But the count beat them both. And with a draw being declared, what the hell is the result of this match now? What does this mean for WrestleMania? We need to get an answer to that one as soon as possible, because this match was very much so depending on what came beforehand, and now that's been thrown up in jeopardy. There is plenty to talk about regarding that result we just saw, but it is time to move on. It is Hirooki Goto versus Marty Scurll. It's the main event of Battleground. The world title is on the line. My goodness. What an air of confusion there is right now in this arena. The crowd, the backstage staff, and I imagine even the Raw general manager. Not a clue what is going through his mind. And maybe not even a clue what to think about this all. That was not the way it was supposed to go. I think that is the case. Well, we need answers for that one very, very quickly indeed. But it is time for the main event. It is time for the big one. We may not know who's facing the world champion at WrestleMania, but we should well get the answer of who's going to be the world champion heading into WrestleMania right about now. Hirooki Goto, Marty Scurll, one-on-one. Goto on a number one contenders match, eliminate after his Royal Rumble performance, the second most eliminations that evening with 4. And he beats CM Punk just 24 hours later to win the number one contendership, to get the chance at Marty Scurll. And from then on, Scurll, in all of his air of confidence, believing that no one could trump him, well, he was given an almighty death blow, I believe is the nicest way of putting it, with what we saw at this past episode of Monday Night Raw, in which, in a tag team match, in which Goto teamed up with Tanahashi and Scurll teamed up with Reigns, Goto pinned Scurll. That put a very interesting spin on what the result could be here this evening. We are not sure what the result could be. It could go any way whatsoever. Goto hasn't said anything, Scurll hasn't said anything, but actions can speak far louder than words, and the actions of Scurll staying down to the GTR on Raw tell a whole story. If it happens again here tonight, if that GTR connects, if Scurll cannot neutralize the GTR, he's not holding on to that world title for much longer. Scurll headed into this match pretty cocky. I think after the Royal Rumble he was pretty damn cocky, but after Raw, I think Scurll realized the jeopardy of his situation. And I am glad. I am glad that he has been knocked down a peg by Hirooki Goto. And I hope Goto can knock him down the ultimate peg and take that world title away from him. I don't need to hide any biases. I don't need to hide who I like and dislike about this brand. I don't like Marty Scurll, and I will gladly say it. There are ways to be a champion. You can go down the route of Brock Lesnar, which is to destroy everyone in your path and earn that belt just by beating everyone up. There's the Seth Rollins way, carrying a roster on your back through everything, putting on great matches every time you defend this belt, and showing what it means not only to be the greatest of all time, but to be on the greatest brand. You could be the Tyler Bate option, the underdog who fights his way through everything and achieves greatness. Or you could be the scumbag in Marty Scurll, who picks his prime opportunities, sneaks in to opportunities that may be easy, weaken his opponents down, and seize the chance when possible. Scurll achieved his ultimate bragging right 2 weeks ago when he retired Sting. And he knows it. And as the world champion once again, the villain is taking full enjoyment of it. But for how much longer will he? Will it all come to an end right now, right here at Battleground? Will Marty Scurll be dethroned by Hirooki Goto? This is Goto's first crack at the world title. Will it be a successful one? We are about to find that out right now. The air of confusion to the match before can settle because it is time for our main event of the evening. It is time for Goto and Scurll to do battle. And you can see from the get-go, Scurll is a bit hesitant to act. Scurll doesn't really want to overstep his boundaries. Scurll doesn't really want to get into a slugfest with Goto, because I think he knows one thing. He's going to lose. But he is going to act quick there with a suplex onto the number one contender, the challenger. Rolling out of the way there quickly. And this is going to hurt Scurll. A kick right in the back there, as if to say, this is coming your way this evening. I hope you are ready for it. Big uppercut there from Goto. He knows how to pace himself throughout a match. He knows how to make sure that he has a strong evening, that he can have a strong match, that he can stay in it from minute one until the very final minute. But how do you combat some of the scumbag offense of Marty Scurll as well? How do you combat those eye rakes, those back rakes? How do you combat those underhanded moves? How do you counter a move that Scurll can hit so quickly as the super kick as well? But a big question I have to think about when it comes to Scurll is how is he going to be able to lock in the crossface chicken wing on Goto? Is Goto the kind of guy that would tap out to a move like that? Does Scurll have the force within him? Because the main reason it worked so well at the Royal Rumble is because Scurll had a plethora of weapons to use to his advantage. He had bats. It was, of course, Sting's bat that ended his career. But with all of that taken away, Scurll has to beat Goto by just his wrestling ability. Now, I don't know if he's got it in him to take care of that. I don't know if in a straight one-on-one match he could beat Goto. We are going to find out right now. But I am very interested to see if that'll be the case or not. Goto with a chin lock being applied here. Scurll susceptible to it. Not able to fight his way out of it just yet. Maybe spoke too soon, as Scurll now looking to escape the hold. Elbowing his way out of that one into the ribs of Goto. But look how quickly Goto acts there. Kicks into the ribs. Scurll reeling but not going down. Oh, and that time he counters the kick in the back there with a rolling kick and a lovely drop kick after it, I must say. Good elevation from the world champion. Marty Scurll now could lead this match, could be having a say in what's going on in this match. In the turnbuckle we go. Flying there by Scurll. Counter from Goto. Turns him around. Is he thinking GTR? He is not. Great back suplex though. Tremendous power being illustrated in it. Arm drag and down goes Hirooki Goto, but only briefly. Goto turns him around again. Might have been thinking GTR there. Might have been looking to finish things off early, but Scurll read it, countered it. Saito suplex there, and Goto comes down on his head. And the top of his neck there, but oh, super kick incoming from Scurll. Cracked Goto in the jaw with it, and he goes for the cover now. And Goto letting him know that is not enough to finish the deal here. Scurll getting countered there by Goto now. Look for a kick there. Goto gets countered by Scurll. Up and over on the outside. Goes Hirooki Goto now. Look at this. Scurll going up high. Scurll going to risk it all here. Crossbody. Goto sidestepped it. Moved out of the way of that one. Scurll quick up to his feet, but the damage done there by missing that crossbody. Goto could have a say now in what's going to happen in this match. What a kick there from Hirooki Goto. He thinks he's done enough to win the world title with that. Has he done? No. Didn't even get in my question in time before the kick out was made there. Lifting him up to his feet. Goto. Another suplex attempt incoming. Scurll cannot fight his way out of it. And his back is hurting right now. Good work on the back in this match so far by Hirooki Goto. Looked for a huge chop. Scurll countered it. In the turnbuckle we go. Flying forearm once more from Marty Scurll. And the villain pounding away there at Hirooki Goto. Trying to work down whatever he can to try and finish this match. Whether or not he can make him tap out to the Cross to the chicken wing, we'll find out. Whether or not he can pin him with the bird of prey, we'll find out. Scurll lining things up here. Another super kick to Goto. And I'll say this, with everything he's doing to the face right now, it is going to be harder and harder for Goto to stave off the pain. But he might not even get into the... Yes, he might get into the chicken wing because that was a very early kick out. Oh, never mind. I'll make my point in just a moment because Scurll looking like he might want to end things here. I might not even get to make my point because Scurll's going to look for the chicken wing. Scurll's locked it. And he locks his arm. He locks his legs around the body of Goto. Locks his arm around the neck. Will Goto tap out? Is Scurll going to go to WrestleMania as World Heavyweight Champion? Goto kicking, Goto fighting, Goto escaping. The point I was going to make is these two guys did meet the night after Marty Scurll's return. And it was victory on that evening for Marty Scurll via the chicken wing. So he does have a tap-out win over Marty Scurll. But Goto looking to put that altar past there. Hiroshi, neck crank after it. Goto going up high. Elbow drop. Scurll moved out of the way. And you could hear the crowd, the way they were riled up there and cheering for Goto to hit it. And the simple reality is, though, that the big move just didn't come there. Scurll stopped it. Scurll got out of the way of that elbow drop, and it was a good thing that he did because his world title could have disappeared just a move later. If I would have had to guess, it would have been elbow drop GTR 1, 2, 3. Scurll, huge strength there. And I've just noticed, I think there's a cut that has formed on the head of Goto. Indeed there is, you can see it there, blood starting to drip down, and Scurll now has a target for this match. This is exactly what can help Goto get the tap-out win. Blood loss. A starved brain. Goto, if he could be weakened physically, mentally, and if he's losing blood as well, it's everything that Scurll needs in order to walk out with a win. That is a long, long way to travel, but Scurll's going to make it worth the wait. Super kick, Goto evaded. Scurll counters in with a forearm right into that open wound. Goto, though, forearms him back. Look, I might have been thinking GTR again there. Scurll has denied the GTR more than once. And look at this. Hiroshi to Goto. But Goto right back up to his feet. Moves out of the way there. Oh, but Scurll dodged the punch and ends up sending him into the turnbuckle. And that flying forearm. Every move Scurll's going for now has the cut in mind. Has the open wound in mind. To open it up. To get more blood out of there. To weaken Goto even more. Scurll is going to do everything in his power, and the thing is, the longer this goes on, the more Scurll's going to get out of it, the more Scurll's going to be able to pull it off. Scurll going to look for the tap out right now, going to look for the chicken wing right now, and a great counter from Hirooki Goto. Scurll, Irish whip off the ropes comes Goto now. Look for a backhand chop there. Goto just shrugged it off. Backbreaker from the challenger. Goto starting to fight back here, starting to come alive. Does he have it in him to pull off the big move? Goto, it might not be the GTR. Goto, Shelton, Kai! A move that Scurll might not have been expecting. The move that made Goto the #1 contender. Is it the move that makes him World Heavyweight Champion? Ah! A kick out at 2 from the villain. Goto thought he had him, but it was not the case. And look at that from Scurll. So quick to counter. Hits the DDT. And the head goes into the ring. Top rope by Scurll. He gets the elbow drop. Jumps into the cover. You see him for a brief moment though. Held his ribs before going into the cover, so Scurll may be working with hurt ribs right now. He may be feeling the impact of those ribs. But I guarantee you Goto's feeling a worse impact with that open cut right now. Every time Scurll's working on it as well, it's getting worse and worse. The blood is going to be dripping more and more. He's going to be feeling dizzier. He's going to be feeling more distant. And it's not going to help when Scurll shoves his fingers deep in the cut like that. The villain stopping at nothing. Scurll going up high here again to the outside. Drop kick. And I think that was either a Goto having blood in his eyes, unable to see, or he is starting to go faint. The match really changed when the blood started to drip from the head of Goto. But Goto is still fighting on here. Nice back suplex to the challenger. To the champion, sorry. Scurll counters. Back elbow attempt again, but Scurll just able to counter it. Scurll gets in that kick in the gut though. Downward spiral. Got him. Very good counter from Scurll there indeed. Nice back body drop. That cut is looking worse and worse. Look at the blood now. Right around the eyes of Goto. Blind your vision. Wear you out, wear you down, and I think Goto is starting to come to that moment where he is getting worn out, because look at that, he can't block the kicks there from Scurll. He couldn't find his way out of them, and now Scurll is in the right position, right place, right time, and he's going to look to finish things. Chicken wing, and with all the blood loss, with all the work he's done on that cut as well, has he done enough to starve oxygen, to start blood flow through the body of Goto, as the villain coyed his way through another title defense? The cunning mind of the villain's paid off. Marty Scurll has retained the title. He got underhanded. He got dirty. The villain was necessary to retaining that title. But at the end of the day, it worked. Scurll retains. And if there was a gap like that, if there is a weakness in the body, you take advantage of it. And Scurll did exactly that when he worked over that open cut. The moment the blood started dripping, Scurll made it his importance to widen that cut, to get more blood coming out of it. And he did just that. He weakened Goto down. And when that brain and when that head was going faint, when Goto was starting to go distant, Scurll capitalized and Scurll retained the world title as a result of it. The villain goes to WrestleMania as World Heavyweight Champion. And now we question what the hell it means for him at the grandest stage of them all. Because we currently don't know his challenger after what happened earlier on this evening. It's been a great night of Battleground action though, and it is time to come to an end for it. Marty Scurll is still the World Heavyweight Champion, and we have to question, where do we go from here? Oh my God! That can only mean one thing! The Undertaker! The dead man's back! And he has wasted little time in taking the mic in his hand and delivering his message. Scurll's probably halfway across the state by now, it fair. Undertaker has returned to vanquish the souls who cross his path. The dead man is back. And he's back with an immediate bang. What does this mean for Monday Night Raw? Heading out of Battleground. The Undertaker returns. Oh, what a way to end the show.